Okay, so NASCAR Heat 5, it is out. It is here. Just came available today. So the much anticipated test session is what I'm going to try out right now. I already did a quick race and had some comments on it in a separate video that you can see on my channel. But a few things that I did notice is the car seems to be more stable. There seems to be less tire wear, and your lap times fall off less as the tires do wear. So one of the things I think that's going to translate into is as you do custom setups, you can be much more aggressive on the wedge settings because the tire wear and the fall off and the grip as it does wear is not as great. A couple things I did notice, I decided if we think the cars might be a little more stable, I thought I would go to a road course and try. So I am here at Watkins Glen. This is the setup I use for from Heat 4. Couple things that I have noticed that I wanted to point out here. Oops, hit the wrong button. Is when I was at Charlotte, an oval, just a regular oval, not the roval, I noticed that the rear sway bar was grayed out and you could not put a rear sway bar on at Charlotte. I noticed now that I'm at a road course, you do have the option of putting a rear sway bar on. I don't really run rear sway bars. I don't know that that's a big issue. I run it, I think, maybe at Sonoma, and that's it. But it'll be interesting to see as we play through it. Is it only road courses where a rear sway bar is available or not? I'm not sure. Other thing that I have noticed is the fourth gear is grayed out. 1.00 is your only option for fourth gear, which is a blessing and a curse because I felt like you could get a little more speed if you could tweak the gears just right, and sometimes you'd go something different than 1.00. But at the same time, that was very frustrating because I spent a lot of time tweaking things to try to get the gearing right. So anyway, that is the stuff I have noticed so far. Let's try this thing out on a road course, see what it does as far as what this is like, how much grip you have, how stable the car is, how it drives, etc. I will tell you that I did do a quick race, and the quick race was pretty much the things I talked about with the tire fall off and the grip and everything were the big things that I noticed. So let's go out here. The test session looks like it is about like a practice session in Heat 4, but without other cars on the track. So it doesn't look like to me it's that big a deal. I was thinking maybe in a test session you could have something really cool, like maybe you could get telemetry or something to show where you were on the gas and off, and see what your best lap times were and what line you were running. But nothing really cool like that. That was probably being overly optimistic. Car seems more stable and more responsive. Like I had no trouble holding it down coming through that big sweeping right-hander there, which is something I'd struggled with before. We're getting loose. That's interesting. Now let's see. We do have damage, so there is damage. It felt about the same when you get loose. It looks like the damage is about the same as far as you do have. I don't know if in test session you can set it to set your damage on or off or not, but we do have damage definitely. I thought maybe in test session it would just default to being off. Maybe it's that I am just not pushing the cars as much because I'm not as haven't got the setups dialed in. Maybe. But it does seem more stable. It just seems more stable, easier to control, more forgiving. See, I think I would have been sideways in the old game right there. See, I've never been able to hit that turn quite that smooth before. Wow, my braking points might be a little different because that's twice that I have missed that turn. Braking points might be a little bit different. You might need to brake a hair earlier. Setups might need to be tweaked some. I know in Heat 4 I could go through that pretty much wide open. I am sensing that maybe on some of these things your braking points need to be a little bit sooner than they were in Heat 4. This is the graphics, the screens that you have available to you as far as the garage and everything. This all seems like it is just like Heat 4. It's just that there's no AI out here to get in your way when you're testing. But it looks like a practice session from Heat 4. A little unstable here. Keep trying to run that wide open and I can't. I could do it in Heat 4. Maybe I just got to get the setup adjusted a little. It's going to take some tweaking to get used to. I think the physics are just different enough that you're going to have to tweak some of your setups. Now this will be interesting. I'm going to jump out of this and go into a quick race at Watkins Glen and see if my setup transfers over. Maybe I'm getting smoother or I got heat in the tires. I was able to pretty much run that section wide open there, but I think I hit that first turn a little better. Pardon me. I can tell you the wheel feels pretty much the same. That turn's giving me fits, but other than that, I think I had a pretty good lap going. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but I think you can start off with any setups you had in Heat 4 and go from there. So now let's try jumping into a quick race mode and see if my custom setup carried over. Okay, so let's back out of this and let's go to Race Now, Cup Series. We'll stick with Maddie. Let's go to Watkins Glen. And let's see if my custom setup that I was using in the test session carries over. This is something new. You get advertisements from Fanatec. Wow, the loading screen is exceptionally long. I'm noticing that. Maybe I think if you stare at this long enough, you'll go buy a Fanatec pedal and wheel set and everything. So let's see what the custom race looks like. Yeah, this is my setup. So whatever you do in test session looks like it carries over into other sessions. So that's interesting. So anyway, this is the first look. That's my first impressions. Thought I'd share it with everybody. Hope you liked it. Please leave me any feedback, anything else you'd like to see. And I will post more videos as I get deeper into Heat